Welcome, 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 welcome. We are back. Another episode of the Vent Rebuild Refocus podcast presented by We Chat Here. I am that boy Reckless. This is the one and only Wolf, and we have the beautiful Sierra with us. And today we're going to talk about the focal point is motivation. What's your motivation? Through hard times, through troubled times, through struggle times. What is your motivation? What is your inspiration through the struggle at the bottom? And even when you reach your height and on top, do you still have that same inspiration? Do you still have that same motivation? So I'm gonna ask my guys, I'm gonna ask my gals, what motivates you when you're going through something? Well,
music helps me get motivated to get through whatever I may be going through at that time and that moment. I know that for a fact. I got to pop some music on it and change my whole atmosphere, my whole mood swing. You know what I'm saying? So I just say my output is music.
Motivated music. No, a lot of people find motivation in music.
Yeah, just like today, I was on the phone talking to a friend of mine. She's in the grocery store. They were playing Ryan Eisner. I said, oh. So, sometimes music can set you in a different drive. You know what I'm saying? As far as being on the positive note. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like no negative, but positive. So to hear music in a grocery store, that was something different that I learned today.
Okay. Sierra, what motivates you when you're down?
I would say my children. So my children are always going to be my number one motivation. My kids keep me going on days when I don't want to. But like a peace place that's inspiring, like it'll be music and the people around you. Well, the people around me, if they're motivating me and inspire me, yes. So those.
Okay. So when I'm down, I tend to look within and tell myself that it's bigger than me. So I have to keep pushing forward and keep moving forward because I have a lot of people that depend on me. So that's always my motivation is if I'm down, that could affect a lot of other people. So that motivates me to say, hey, even when I'm down, I gotta show the strength. I understand, because I can't let them down. I understand. I don't like letting my loved ones down by any means. Especially, and definitely, I have children, so that's a motivation within itself, being that they can't see me down.
Right.
I can't let them see me down.
No, that's a different type of drive.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. Like you don't never want to, as a parent, you don't never want to see your kids see you down or see you going through something far as where it's hindering the family.
Right. Nobody wins when a family loses. So that's motivation when we're down. Understand? What about when everything is going well? Is it the same? Like it's probably different motivation, but what motivates you when everything is just going accordingly? And have you ever had that segment in your life to where everything was going accordingly, and you were just motivated to do something, or let's talk about it.
I remember at one point when I was telling myself how I'm gonna figure out, can I work 3 jobs and it's only 24 hours in a day. So I was like, well, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but guess what? It got done. You know what I'm saying? One was part-time, one, and you got a full-time, and then the other one was just a side hustle. So, but throughout the day, like anytime you're detailing cars at night, you hustle. You know what I'm saying? Because you really can't see unless you use your light. So I just told myself, what motivated me was family. When I was taking care of family, man, it was just the kids go always motivate you. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're tired, you know what I'm saying? You look into your kid's face and see that they happy and see that you could go get them what they want. That's a beautiful feeling. So that's go out and keep me, my nephews, nieces, that's go out and keep me dry.
What have you, Sarah? What motivates you when you're like everything is well? Understand?
Exactly what you said. When everything is well, why would you be unmotivated? That's kind of crazy. That should be your motivation, right? So, yeah.
Okay, no, okay, I understand what you're saying. Knowing, okay, everything's well, so
You
that
should be motivated to keep
to keep
going,
it
not stop. Yeah.
got you, understand.
Or, you're hearing from your elder.
That should be even more motivation. Like, yeah. So I got to this point. Let me keep being self-driven. Let me keep being yada yada. Like that should be your motivation because things are happening how it's supposed to.
All right,
Keep going.
so now before we get to inspiration, right? And because motivation and inspiration is two different things. So let's give a tidbit to people that may be going through a stagnation in their life to where they're unmotivated. Understand? They may not have the support group that we have. Understand the push and the empowerment and the encouragement. What advice would you give them to say, hey, take this as motivation?
My first advice would be remove yourself from your surroundings. My second advice, evaluate yourself. My third, aim to be around spiritual people that's going to all connect and help you get onto your journey and what you need to be going, where you need to be going in life. Negative attracts negative, positive attracts positive. So if you can stay on a positive note every day, which is very hard to do, it's very hard to stay positive throughout a whole 24-hour in a day. But at the end of the day, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So you can always have a rocky day, but just know that it ends in a blessing way to make it back home to your family.
And just to reiterate, when we say motivate, we're speaking on things that you want to accomplish in life,
right?
And things that you want to get done.
Not things that you're doing, things that you want to actually say, okay, I finished this.
Right. Understand. Pulling through on things and accomplishing things. Understand. Like it's a motivation that has to be there to power through something at certain times. So, Sierra, what advice would you give to the people that's going to be listening?
I wouldn't say this much of advice, but much of a relate because still to this day, like I mean, we all, and I feel like all of us here can't say we ain't had days where we was just unmotivated. Like it happens. So I guess my words to the people out there that's unmotivated, don't dwell in it because I get unmotivated. I procrastinate. Some days I just don't feel like it. And I didn't realize, like, take that as a bad thing. Just take it as, that's just God probably setting you back so you can focus on something else. Focus on your mental, figure out something else. Maybe what you're trying to do is, might not be what you need to be doing. Or not saying you're doing bad things, but it may be something good. Or maybe you just need to take time to yourself, and that's okay. Because, I mean, we're human. We get unmotivated sometimes. Like, I know for sure me, I definitely get in my days where I'm just unmotivated. I don't want to do anything. Like I'm probably burnt out and drained from trying to do everything, from trying to keep. And another thing also, motivation comes from self. So that comes from yourself. If you're not okay mentally or you overdriving yourself by trying to achieve this and do this and do this, you're gonna burn yourself out and you're gonna get tired. So I just say stay focused. Don't overwork yourself. It's all gonna work out how it's supposed to. Be patient. Um, Find what motivates you, and just like Will said, music is one thing that he can run to. That's kind of motivation for him. Probably some good inspiration music in there that's keeping him motivated. So just find things that get you back in your mojo, your groove, and it may be people around you because energy is real. So I agree with Wolf. It might be, your surroundings, probably people around you, their energy is off and it's throwing you off, not making you, want to be motivated. Or it might just, so that's all.
Absolutely, for sure. That's great advice. That's great sound advice. Understand. motivation, when you're unmotivated, I would advise you to definitely do an audit. I always say do an audit on your support system. Understand? Because typically when we're around people and they're a reflection of what we are. Understand? They say birds of a feather flock together, right? And we know if I'm hanging around this, it's gonna rub off on me, right? So, but that's not everybody's case. Some people don't even have a circle to be motivated by. Wow. And for those who are just solo dolo, they're introverts, understand? I would suggest that you read the Word of God, understand? Because that is actually the quickening spirit that's going to give you some divine revelation. Because motivation, it definitely comes from within. Understand? A lot of the things that in life come from within.
Right.
However, we look for the outside because iron sharpens iron. Understand? So if I don't have the self ignition, right, and I'm looking to the outside, I gotta make sure that I'm looking. If I see somebody that has the spark, those who I want to gravitate towards, not just anybody. Understand? Because sometimes we gravitate towards anybody to get the spark or that motivation, but that's not the case. We need to really fine tune of who we allow to be our ignition, understand, to motivate us and to push us. Some people will push you up a cliff, understand. So we definitely want to take inventory of our circle, our surroundings, and like I said, for the introverts, we definitely want to start reading things that's gonna ignite. And let's say you don't have the motivation for reading. Okay, what's the alternative? You could listen, just like music. However, you could listen to something that's going to give you value and substance, understand, to get through that situation or get through that to that end goal, understand? Because sometimes we start something, we get unmotivated in the process, and we never finish it. But finishing something is just a small testament to God saying, okay, I tasked you with this. I seen you finish it. I could task you with greater things. A lot of times we don't look at it. We look at a lot of things on a microcosm level, right? We don't look at things on a bigger macro level. Understand? Here it is. If I give you a small task and you can't finish it, how can I task you with something larger?
Right. That's just like if I give you a camera and you don't know how to take the picture, what's the sense of giving you the camera?
So, I mean, we gotta make sure we that self motivation. It comes from a lot of things, from a lot of people, but I will always tell somebody to read the Word of God. Understand? Yeah. These are inspired scriptures, and it can resurrect that inner God in you to go ahead and push through and push forward, because the victory is already ours. Right. We just gotta go through the world, the road. Understand that victory is already there. And when you have that knowledge, everything and anything would become, it's okay. Right. It's okay. I'm gonna get there. Understand?
Yeah. I tell people all the time, when you're going down that tunnel, it'll be dark, but at the end of that tunnel, you go see the light.
All right.
So once you get to that light, ain't no turning back after that. You know what I'm saying?
Certain things
I also want to add to, don't force it. Like, right. Don't force it, because it ain't gonna work. Like, and this is another thing, I want to touch on this one more time, because people make people feel bad for things, or even ourselves. We are biggest critics, so we'll make ourselves feel bad for don't feel bad. Like, it's okay, because we're human. Like, we get tired sometimes, we get unmotivated, we probably been stressed out throughout the week, and we just don't have the energy for it no more. we don't have the motivation for it. And that's okay, but don't go force it either, though. 'Cause people will probably come around you and beat you down about it, like, oh, you done give up this, you are motivated, you need to do this, you need to get up, no, absolutely not. When you're ready, when you are ready, God will let you, your spirit will let you know. This your spirit will definitely let you know, all right, you ready. All right, you can get back up. We don't want to force ourselves to do anything that we're not ready for, because that's how we crash. That's how you run into them brick walls. Go
Another
ahead.
thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying another thing I wanted to enlighten on is another important thing to me, as far as being just self motivated, is being on your own time. I feel like being on your own. If you can do 12 hours at a job, shit, you can invest that 12 hours into yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing 14 hours a day, you can invest that into yourself. You know what I mean? Get the money, then invest. You know what I'm saying? But don't be out here investing in something that you think that ain't gonna work, or you second guessing yourself. Invest into something that you know for a fact that's gonna work, and the outcome's gonna be in your favor.
Also, I would advise, after the Word of God, to start really reflecting on what you eat, understand, and what you partake in your body, because that also affects how we think, right? So we eat opinions. That's our support system. We eat that as well. So that's also a diet. So you got to watch that diet, right? We spoke on that. But now the physical diet, the hard food versus fruits, vegetables, and things to this, all this plays an effect on our thought pattern, our thought process, how we perceive things. So we also want to take like I said, just an inventory of how we eat, understand, and start to really think about, okay, I ate this. How am I feeling? What are my thoughts after? Because it's seldom that we really eat and then look at how we thinking, our thought process, how we're feeling after we eat. Understand? If we start taking inventory of that, I think we'll start cleaning up our diets to say, you know what, I ate this meal and I started thinking crazy. Understand? I got tired. I wasn't feeling well. I'm very fatigued. I got a headache. Understand? And all type of ailments come, but we don't never associate it with what we eat in our diet, our physical diet, because we think, oh no, I'm just sick.
Right.
Well, the sickness came from somewhere.
You eating salt on top of salt.
Yeah. The sickness came from somewhere. So we want to, on the second step for me, for being unmotivated to getting motivated, is starting to clean up your diet a little bit so we could start, having the energy of motivation.
Right. But it's very, very.
And also I want to say, I'm not here to, I don't know what everyone believes in, or who everyone knows or thinks is their highest power, but just during that time, also when you're unmotivated, just pray and ask for, wisdom, ask for guidance, definitely guidance, because I wouldn't just say pray for motivation, pray for guidance as well, because maybe you're misguided, you don't know where to go, you don't know where to start, or what you want to do anymore. So pray for guidance, um, pray for wisdom, and also pray for motivation too. But definitely when you're motivated at times, make sure you're praying. I agree with that we're reckless on reading the Bible, but let's also make sure we're praying. And praying doesn't necessarily mean you have to get on your hands and knees to pray. That's just some people pray. You can sit there and talk to God in your head. He hears, he knows what we think, even if we don't say it aloud. He knows us. He knows us by heart. He's in us. So whether you're talking to your head, feel like you're talking to yourself, because that's what we tend to say. We're talking to ourselves really the whole time. We're not talking to ourselves. God's listening. So, or, talk out loud or whatever. Just make sure you're praying about it, and, it'll come to you. Don't force it though. So that's all I was going to say.
No, I agree with that. Anything, just remember this, people. anything that's forced, it's not meant to be. I understand. Anything that's forced is not meant to be. You won't have to force it.
It would be backfired on
Right. I understand. So now we're talking about motivation, self-motivation. What inspires you? Like who or what have you seen in your life that has been an inspiration in your life? I understand.
you. Well, my grandfather was my motivator, my inspirer. You know what I'm saying? My mom's dad motivated me a whole lot as a kid, just for the simple fact of conducting yourself as a man, making sure that your family is taken care of. Whether if you really deal with them or not. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs help. You know what I'm saying? In some type of order. But I looked up to him a whole lot, whether he knew it or not. God bless his soul. And I haven't met and ran into another man like him. So um, I talk to him every day. When I wake up, look up at the sky right along with the rest of my loved ones in heaven. And I just ask for another day, for another blessing, to be a blessing to somebody. So that's just what it is with me.
Right. What has inspired you over the years, Sierra? Who has or what has been your inspiration?
I'm gonna say I'm inspired by anyone, period. It's not even a specific person. I'm inspired by anyone, period, who's just setting goals and achieving them, just accomplishing anything. I don't care if it was riding a bike. I don't care if it was learning how to speak another language. I don't care what it is. You didn't give up and you kept going, because life ain't easy for none of us. This life ain't easy. It's not fair at all for nobody. So if anybody is out here accomplishing anything, it's definitely inspiration to me, because I just feel like we all got problems. We all feel like our problems is just the end of the world and dramatic. That's just how we feel because it's happened to us. But it's no one's trouble is greater than the other. Like someone out here is going through way worse than we are. So, and I just say that to say it. You never know no one's struggle. You never know what one person is going through. We know struggle. We know what, problems people can face out here. Because, of course, we hear about them. We got people out here being, molested, raped, killed, losing family members, losing jobs, homeless, whatever. So just to see anybody accomplishing anything, that's definitely inspiration to me, because I'll complain about a lot, and there's people out here probably facing way more and still succeeding in life. So that's definitely inspiration to me. But if I had to put a specific person on it, I can't get my word together, y'all. If I had to put a specific person on, like right now, a specific person and people, I'm gonna speak on two. A specific person, it'd definitely be you that were reckless, because you're definitely doing a lot. A lot of stuff you do, sometimes I say to myself, like, could be me. But nah, I'm just kidding. But nah, you really go you really go above and beyond. Like, and I know, because we're a team, I see. So it's not like you're a stranger to me. I know things that you go through, even things that you may not talk about or speak on, and you still managing to beat the odds. And then not making this a race thing, but just being that you are a black man at that, is just top of the line. You don't, and I probably say I get on here and play the race card every time I get on here, but y'all know how it is. And I'm not saying it's just blacks. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other races that's, going through it, but I'm specifically going to speak on the blacks, because it's hard for a black man out here to be accomplishment and able to achieve anything. So just seeing you still being able to, and not putting your business on the, the pedestal, but you've done, what I'm talking about. You done been in plenty of environments where you was the only, and you still beat the odds. So that's definitely inspiration to me. To get off of that, to speak on the second, it'll be a lot of these black owned businesses, because we get bashed and talked down a lot. And we are really the top ones they say to not make it in the world. And just to see all these upcoming blacks like taking over with stocks, hair, nails, you name it. Like, we literally are the new, upcoming. And years and years ago, I would have never thought I see this. Not saying that I wouldn't suspect, black stuff, of course, conquer things, but the way the world was, no, I didn't think we'll ever get a pass to be living, how everybody's living now. So I'm definitely inspired by that. And I only say that because I'm trying to be a black queen running a business, and just to see other black queens out here and black kings out here just holding that fort down and accomplishing, it's very inspiring. Do it, I can do it too. Simple. So that's mine.
Absolutely. 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 Well said. And of course, appreciation. Understand, if I inspire anybody, it's all through the glory of God. Understand. I'm just a vessel on this earth at this appropriate time for inspiration. So now, and it's crazy, right? The universe is always speaking. So you spoke on what I'm inspired by. Understand. So we named uh Black excellence overcoming odds in the status quo society. That's what I'm inspired by. Understand? Absolutely. It's
Exactly.
for me, it's all about overcoming the odds as a Black man in this status quo society. That is my inspiration. Understand? And when I go in places, a lot of places, and I'm solely the only representation of Black excellence, I go hard. I go super hard. Pause. Understand? Because I know I'm not just representing me. Understand? So I'm inspired from the guys that may not get to this position. But I know if I fumble, they would never understand. So
cheap.
Right. So that's why I strive, and I'm inspired by the odds, because believe it or not, the odds have always been stacked against us
From day one.
From day
And
one.
and then check this though, it's gonna keep, because the more blacks are rising, if y'all think life's gonna get easier, no, they don't want that. They
No.
hate that. And that's why I spoke on you for a prime example, because we know, like, if in anybody, that's in our surroundings, if you know, just being in that position, like, I sat back and was just watching, like, wow, like, you're not no longer going in there to represent the win for yourself. You want to represent for all. And win, lose, or draw, you still was put in that position to play that Black king role. Like, it's, and I just was sitting there asking myself, like, damn, like, I wonder how this make him feel. Like, not saying, do you feel nervous? I never suspected you was nervous, or you feel like you was on pressure or whatever. Nah, not even that. It's just like, that should feel good. Like, that should be the motivation right there. That should be your motivation. Like, you've been put in plenty situations where you standing alone against the ones. Okay. So nah, that's definitely inspiration to me. And that should be very inspiring to anyone, just to see that, because we never was given an easy life. Period. That
No.
goes back to our grandparents, our grandparents, our grandparents, our grandparents, our grandparents, and so on. We've never, and see, this is what get me, not trying to, go too further in it, but we all can out here. We are all can, always. And just to see that blacks was just so isolated, and we get treated the poorest, not out of everybody, but I'm just saying, speaking on blacks, we get treated so poor. It's just like, to see where we are now, like, I know our ancestors are smiling. Like, it's
Yeah.
amazing. So, and definitely with the status quo, you said something right there, because it's not, We no longer being another black statistic in the system. Like, come on. So I'm very inspired. I am.
Absolutely, absolutely. We know we live in a stolen legacy. And if people steal your history and give you a history, you can only go off of what you've been told, understand, what you've been taught. You have no recollection of your greatness, understand. So I could tell you, oh no, you was uncivilized or you was such and such and you should live like this and live like this because it's a stolen legacy. But when we come to the realization, oh, we've been kings and queens, right? We we've been all this, the riches of the world been at our footstools. We know, all right, this is normal to us, understand. So that's why again I'm inspired by the odds because I know for a fact that we all have choices, but now the obstacles that's set in our path has always been different. We always have been going through tumultuous situations and turbulent situations, and we always have been persevering. We always have been um um persevering, and then you resilient. Understand? Yeah, we always been resilient in the face of adversity. So, like I say, I'm inspired by the odds because I want to keep that perseverance and resiliency going. Understand? That has been defying odds has been my tradition. Understand? I've been doing it since a youngin. Understand? The odds has always been against me. And that it is what it is. And I always call on my God for the strength and for the knowledge and for the wisdom to execute, to how do we execute against the odds, understand? To where no opportunity is given, how do we present them? How do we maneuver in a room full of vultures? Understand?
At peace.
I say you how to move in a room full of vultures. Understand? So that's
I'll chin up.
fact. So that's my inspiration. Understand? And we ask, make sure y'all drop in the comments what is like it's seldom that we really take the opportunity. It's no pause button on life, right? And there's no rewind button. So when we could take the time out to sit down and reflect, right? And really reflect on what's going on in our lives, you need to take those opportunities because life is fast. Understand? So you want to take the time out to, hey, you know what? Let me just take inventory of my life and what's going on. So you could really get the reins, right? Not just letting time pass you by, but actually controlling your time. Understand? Difference. Yeah, you don't. I know. Wolf said it was 24 hours in a day, right? So that is, and it's not a knock to him. I understand what he was saying, but if we really evaluate that, it's only 12 hours in a day, and if you're working 8 hours of those days, you only have 4 to yourself, right? It's not 24 hours in a day; it's 12 hours in a day, and it's 12 hours at night. So we work in a day, and we give 8 hours to a company, but don't put that into ourselves. We're doing a disservice. Understand? You don't have to have a business to invest in yourself.
You ain't lying, man.
I just want to let y'all know that right now.
For the people that don't know, food for thought.
Anytime I'm on the clock, I'm on the clock. Don't let that go over your head. Understand? Because I understand.
And even when you off the clock, you're still on the clock.
Right. I understand trading time. And, I need to reclaim my time that I be giving to companies and put it towards my end goal. Nobody else is gonna do that for you. Nobody's gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna give you some time at your job to work on the things you need to work on. Oh, nobody cares.
Right.
But you have to care. You know another thing? Watch this. We be so caught up on outside support, right? To the point to if I have a birthday and I invite people and they don't come, people will be upset. And the thing,
my birthday canceled.
right?
Yada yada yada.
Right. So, and my thing is this: the most important person on your birthday is who?
Yourself.
It's yourself.
Yeah.
It's your
You
now.
don't have a birthday to please others.
Right. So I understand you will want people to come and celebrate and such, but it's not mandatory. We get so caught up on outside gratification that we forget we the most important person.
Right.
If it's my birthday, if I'm present, it's a great day. Understand? Period. Let's stop getting caught up on what other people do or show up for. Understand? When you need to show up for it.
Right. Stop worrying about what the next person say. Just focus on what you need to be doing.
Please. What else we got though? Understand? Has anything lately I know Sherry said anything other than like lately in this past year that you've seen that you was like, you know what, I can identify with this. It just gave me another breath of fresh air, and I definitely feel inspired. I feel motivated to continue. Understand? This year,
Wait, you said what again? I said what?
I said, have you anything this year, right, on this calendar year? Have you been inspired or motivated from? And I know you said a lot of Black-owned businesses, but like particular, have you seen or heard somebody that just he was like, yo, you know what? I got a newfound motivation. I got a new inspiration to push me forward. Understand?
Uh, well, just 2 days ago, my cousin had posted on Snapchat. He had got a new work truck.
Okay.
So that with him having 2 work trucks, that motivated me even more. And I'm not even in the city that he in. You know what I mean? I felt like I had 2 work trucks because I used to work for him. So, to see that God's constantly blessing a person that has always been against him. The women didn't try to tear him down. And, your baby mamas is bitter. Just to see him still strong, still fighting, still striving, and ain't nothing changed and ain't nobody taking nothing. It's just self-motivation within itself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, anytime anybody coming to your bank account, play with your money, you go feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's already hard out here. So, when you're saving, man, it's hard to save. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody come in and play with your money and do this and do that because they don't want to see you happy or see you striving to move forward, man, they ain't gonna do nothing but sit you down there and you go reevaluate yourself to know that, hey, look, what I'm doing is right. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're going up, everything go try to tear you down. But ain't nothing gonna stop you if you self-motivate.
Right. Well said. Sierra? She'll be back. She'll be back.
No, I'm so sorry. I have an important call coming through right now. I understand. So it's y'all probably like important call at 10 o'clock at night. But no, the person that's called me, we're in 2 different time zones. I really want to answer. But nah.
Yeah, don't take us a business call. Say it's not a problem. Well,
it's the person hung up. It was a business call. It's a business proposition I just got approved for. So anyways, what's recently inspired me, I'm gonna say myself. So, and this gonna play a role in what we've been talking about. So, like I said earlier, when I spoke on myself, like I get unmotivated. I've been experiencing them days recently. I've been very unmotivated. I ain't really been in a mood, like, and I hate when I get in the moods, and it's nothing wrong. So I just took some. I haven't been in a good space mentally. I had to take some time to myself, and just like Wolf said, and self-evaluate. Sometimes you have to self-evaluate yourself, look at yourself. Sometimes it's not always the people around you. It's not always everybody else's fault. Sometimes it's your own. And my main reason, I just be all over the place. And when I say all over the place, I ain't talking about messy and chaos. I'm talking about with success. Like I feel like I take on so much. This is a deeper conversation for another day, but I don't know. I feel like it's an escape for me. So I'm gonna just say that learning and taking on a lot of stuff is an escape for me. From things I feel like that I'm running from. And I was just realizing that. So, anyways, I took on so much at one time, and it just became so overwhelming. And I just got so unmotivated because I'm like, I got all this stuff and I don't know what to do, and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. It's just like nothing is working out for me. Like I'm just not in the mood. But then when I started seeing things pay off, like my school was like a major, godly, it was a major brick on my chest. And then to see my school is finally paid off for my degree, it just let me know, like, just right then and there, like, it's it just let me know patience and that it's all in God's timing. And when God has the final say so it's nothing for me to sit there and beat myself up about. It's all gonna work out and pay off in the end, long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do at the end of the day. And if I'm living righteous and I'm being righteous under God as His child, then of course He's gonna reward. We don't reward bad behavior. So we don't reward procrastinators and liars and hypocrites and all of that. Like we gotta get ourselves together sometimes. So taking that little time to myself, I started to see things paying off for me. And I was just talking to that boy Reckless today, like, I need a mentor. Like I got so much stuff I done did. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. And he said something to me today, and I sat down, I took heed to it. And that actually was another motivation for me. It was inspiring too. It was actually both. Even though I felt like he was like being a dick at the same time. Like you don't gotta yell. But nah, we gotta stop, and we gotta stop like taking what people say as criticism all the time too. People don't really be out to get us. It's not an attack. Like it really be to help us. It's just we gotta understand how people chatting. So anyways, I sat down, I took time to myself, and I actually got shit organized and put in place. And that was even more motivation because here I am where shit is aligning how it's supposed to. I'm not going to speak on it, but I got this laid out in order for my business. I figured out what I want to do. I figured out the plan to do it. Now I got a proposition on the line, calling my phone as we speak, texting my phone as we speak, like, let's get to it. And so anyways, that's motivation for me this day forward, literally. Like now I'm about to go crazy. Like what I got in store now that I done let shit line out how it's supposed to and stop playing all the time and doing this and doing that and ain't putting shit in motion for real. And I'm gonna say it just like that because I done did the work, but it's no motion behind it. You can do the work all day, but you have to put the action behind it. And I wasn't putting the action behind it. I wasn't applying pressure how I was supposed to. But so I self-evaluated. I took heed. I didn't take it so much as an attack no more because that's one of my biggest flaws. Sometimes people say stuff to me and I don't be wanting to hear it. I don't be liking when people try to tell me what to do sometimes. Like, let me tell myself, but we can't be like that forever. We don't know it all. We don't.
I'm gonna tell you something that I had learned today. That when so I had jogged to the store and I was talking to the Lord. You don't have to be worried about nothing that's already taken care of already. And when I say that, I mean that if you're a firm believer in the Lord, there should be no emotion behind you worrying about anything because it's already going to be taken care of. You're just waiting on the time. So that was a big thing that put a smile on my face to know that don't worry about nothing because everything's already taken care of.
That's right. That's right. The victory is already there. Understand? We just got to go through the road. So I wanna speak on what Sierra said, right? And this is just learning more of that boy reckless. Understand? I don't. So I'm a life coach, right? But I'm not um a warm and fuzzy, make you feel good type of coach because that's not what is needed all the time. Sometimes you need the truth, understand?
Right.
Sometimes you need the mental perspective, right? Because everything is mental health for me, right? So sometimes you need that perspective that's gonna prick that mental and that mentality because that is a paradigm time change needs to happen sometimes, right? So I'm not the warm and fuzzy, oh, is it gonna be all right? And no. It, that's not who I am. I'm not gonna, be going crazy on you, right? But
you're not going to sugarcoat it.
nah, because that's gonna be a disservice to you.
Right.
If I tell you if it's a cliff here and you about to walk off it, right? And I tell you, nah, it's not. It's gonna be okay if you. Nah, hey, listen, you need to stop. You need to turn around. You need to get your ass over here because there's a cliff right there. You go run off it. Understand? Now, if you don't receive that, oh, what you didn't say it like I needed it, and then you walk off the cliff. That's your own fault. Understand?
It's the tone of how you say.
Right. So certain things is not gonna be warm and fuzzy. Understand? So now the team, the services that's rendered for WeChat here, we go through. Understand? It's not just for outside participants. We do inventory checks, we do audits. Understand? We do all that because it's imperative. Understand? We do team building sessions. We do a lot of things together because it's imperative. Understand? I gotta make sure my team is who they say they are and who I think they are.
And who they know they are.
Right. Who they know they are. So anytime I do an audit and everybody lines up, understand? Everybody lines up. If you don't need nothing, homie.
But no, that's a fact, and I ain't afraid to admit it. I'm one of those like I like to hold accountability, and I've been working on it. Sometimes I'm not gonna say I take everything as a criticism because I don't. I know it's for the better. I mean, we know if someone's trying to better us, okay. We know if somebody's giving us good advice, so I'm gonna speak on that behalf. I know it's for the better, but at the same time, we and I ain't the only one. We don't be liking people to be all up in our telling us what they're doing, that we wrong and this, that, and the third. We want to hear right all the time, but sometimes we know we're not doing right. And another thing I want to say, let's not get confused either, because some people don't know how to talk to people either. Like, get the point across, but don't talk at them either, because they're not your child. Like, let them know, but don't talk at them though, because some people, it ain't that they can't comprehend it. They don't want to comprehend. They actually don't want to hear shit you got to say no more because you ain't talking to me. Like, talk to me with respect too. But I just want to I just want to say I hate to have to leave the podcast. I'm finna get on this FaceTime real quick, guys, because they are woke over there and it's night over here.
You ain't got to say it. We're good.
But anyways, my last advice I want to say before I leave though is let the eyes always work in your favor, guys, by beating them. We all get thrown obstacles every day. Nobody out here is perfect. I promise you. Nobody living. And another thing I want to say is please stop getting caught up with social media. People only going to put out there what they want you to see. But we all know we all go through shit every day. Okay? Nobody grass is greener than the other. I promise you. But what makes it greener is the ones who can still remain persistent, though, throughout that time. So let's make sure you one of the ones that's being consistent and persistent, and we're not sitting back hating and being jealous and envious and worrying about the next. Let's make sure we not so much trying to be better than the next, but let's make sure we're being better for ourselves for the next. So anyways, I'm out. We chat here forever.
All right. So go ahead. No, I was gonna say, those who endure to the end will be saved. Understand? And the beginning of a thing is always worse than the ending. So what is that saying? When you start to go through something, it's always gonna be at the most turbulent. But once you start getting accustomed and then you start to get it or whatever have you, the ending is always even more glorious than the beginning. So just remember that you're going through tough times. It's not always going to be tough. Understand? Every day is not a bad day.
Every day is not a rainy day. There are some sunny, blessed days. You know what I'm saying? But what I was going to add to the ending and closing was, there's not a problem with you testing who around you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't test plenty of people that I thought was my guys. That's no longer my guys anymore. So it's okay. You know what I mean? It's not a problem. It's all good. Everybody's not meant to be around you forever. And the people that are around you forever, you'll go down in history with them. Right. So just love your people, love your neighbor. Be uplifting to somebody. You know what I'm saying? If somebody need help and you can help them, help them. You know what I'm saying? But don't never help somebody knowing that you want something back in return, because that's how you miss your blessings. Anytime that I loaned out money I ain't even had, you know what I'm saying? But it's from my heart. So my heart is pure. And I refuse to let anybody turn my heart to anything else but staying pure.
Right. Anonymous to anonymous is the pure form of giving. If you're blessed, be a blessing. Live life, love life, and pursue happiness fearlessly. Please. I keep saying that. Pursue happiness fearlessly. Understand? With no regrets. Live with no regrets. I am that boy reckless. This is the one and only Wolf. And I hope we reach somebody that's going through something.
Yes.
So we can be a motivation. So we can lead and resurrect that inner king, that inner being, that inner queen, that God. Understand?
And please, not only that, YouTube, we chat here, LLC, like, subscribe, share.
Right.
Please.
Definitely like, subscribe. Understand? We got to get our algo right. Understand? Right. We got to get the algo right. People need to hear this.
Yes.
We need to hear y'all. Understand? We appreciate everybody that is following. And we here. We tuned in.
For life.